welcome to All In. It's playoff edition, and I couldn't be more excited to just give out games that matter. Last week was boring. This week is not. Get ready to lock in. Give me a comment. Give me a like. Give me an intro, cuz.
Like, comment, subscribe, share, ring the bell.
Please, it helps us.
It helps the cousins. That's what you got to do if you want to keep this show running. Let's get right into it. Michigan with a dominant or not dominant 34-13 performance in the national title game. Did you feel it was dominant or no?
I felt like Michigan played an average game. I don't feel like they tried to stretch it, take any risks. I felt like they played a very safe game, knowing that if we just play safe, we're going to win, and that's what it was. I would pay to see Georgia play Michigan right now, though. That's for sure.
I would have loved
Georgia
to
beats them by 10. If Michigan plays Georgia that day, Georgia wins by 10 or more.
I agree.
Mark my words.
I don't disagree. I think Michigan did exactly what they did all year. When times got tough, they handed the ball off and just simply rolled over the other team.
I got a question for you.
Sure.
Can I ask?
Yeah.
Did Michael Penix lose some draft stock there in that game? Did he lose his edge?
I don't think he did.
No?
No. I have to say,
those guys gotten hurt a lot, though.
Those receivers are great on Washington. They are great. Don't get me wrong. But if you look at the way that this guy got heated up, that's the only thing that really stood out to me, for Michigan for me, is that, they brought a lot of pressure at Milroe. They were able to get him 6 times, a guy who can run the ball. You had to expect that they were going to just light this guy Penix up.
I had a feeling.
And that's what they did.
That's why the receivers
They
over-unders.
blasted him.
That's why the receivers over-unders were as low as they were. They knew that they were going to get heated up.
Yep.
So, guys, is Jimmy going to leave Michigan? Is he going to the NFL? Look at me. If I'm an NFL coach right now, I'd be looking over my left shoulder, my right shoulder. Am I going to have a job tomorrow? Because everyone's getting launched. It's like the Oprah edition of firing right now. You're fired. You're fired. You're fired.
I got to tell you, I think this is the perfect time for him to stay put.
Yeah.
You know why?
Yeah.
Nick Saban retired today.
He did.
He's gone.
He's gone.
He's out. The legend amongst all legends, a guy who had in his contract, if any other coach in collegiate football makes so much as $1 more than me, I get the raise.
Yeah, so
that's what he had going on.
Yeah.
That's how powerful he was. He's now out. This could be a passing of the torch to a new collegiate football head coaching king, Jim Harbaugh. As much as I hate to say that, no, I'm saying this could be a pass the torch. This is a moment for him to take on the reins of that position.
I love that Michigan won.
And I'm not a fan of his.
I love that Michigan won. But I cannot deal with Michigan fans for the next 20 years if that's the new dynasty.
I know.
I can't.
You're talking to an Ohio State guy. The last thing I wanted to see is Big Blue win. But let me tell you something. They got so much, double overhand twisting going on this Jim Harbaugh.
Ohio State's hurt.
Oh, my God.
I promise Ohio State's hurt right now because
they should have won that
last
game.
year. They couldn't get it done. And this
year,
won Michigan
matchup.
got it done. Yeah. And they were up 14. That just
that bum is out at QB, though. We're going to be back this year.
Yeah, no, he's gone. Okay, so NFL playoffs are here, but before we get into that, Pete Carroll's out. Chicago fired every coach in the book except for the head coach. Okay.
Are you happy with this?
The Bears?
Yeah.
I mean,
first of all, are you happy with Petey being out?
I don't mind.
As much of a Seahawks guy as you are.
Do you know where I want Petey to go?
Where?
I want Petey to go to San Diego.
That would be a nice one.
I want him to go to San Diego.
That would be nice to see Petey get Justin Herbert and really take control.
I would like to see Pete back in that county where he coached at USC.
Okay.
I'd like him to see him make the San Diego Chargers great.
So I don't know if you've seen Petey's interview today.
What did he say?
He wanted to let everybody know that he's 72 years old and he's got nothing but energy. He is fired. He is fired up.
I want to age.
He is fired
just like
up.
him.
When I seen him today, I got fired up on the couch. I was like, oh my God, he's fired up. I'm fired up. He better get a job somewhere else.
I hope I age just like Pete Carroll.
I hope you do too. He's a handsome older man.
I want to make this known. I now have only one reason to like the Seahawks, and it's my friend's fiance. Oh God, I said boyfriend to fiance. It's actually husband now. And his name's Colby Parkinson or something like that.
He's going to lose Petey.
He lost Petey, and I know that, what's crazy is I think he's going to have a nice breakout year next year. He's my only reason to watch the Seahawks,
Wow.
that guy. Okay, I'm happy with the Bears, but I'm not happy with the Bears. They better keep Justin Fields. You already know what I said before, but you know what? Let's get a really creative, fun, offensive mind, someone that genuinely knows offense, not some guy that's been behind another guy that just might be able to, act like he knows what he's doing. I feel like that's pretty popular with coaches. They could fake their way into jobs.
How would you comprehend and process this statement that was made by Poles? He thinks Fields has gotten better and he thinks he can lead this team, but he says they're in a very unique situation. Does that sound like someone who is committed to keeping Fields or no?
You got to remember, I want everybody, guys, I want everybody to go. I think it's on Netflix. I don't know. Go watch Draft Day. It's an incredible film.
It's a great movie.
And there's a lot of, this. Hey, I'm going to keep him. I'm not going to keep him. There's a lot of
bluffing.
Listen to me. All these coaches turn into car salesmen. And I'm a car guy, so I can tell you what car guys do. Hey, we're in a unique situation. We might have to take a quarterback. And then everyone said this. Oh, come on, please. What do you want? What do you want? They start jerking you under the table. And then I'm like, okay, you can make it. If you give me this, I'll make it work.
They start jerking you under the table,
you get to play chicken. You get to play chicken. And it really depends on who's...
Do the chicken again.
You get to see who's got the balls and who doesn't got the balls in this situation. So whatever, we'll see what happens. I'm cool. But one that I know that bothered you today was Mike Vrabel got fired.
It bothered me today.
Do you think he's
But I'm now unbothered now that I've dissected the storyline.
Help me.
The storyline is that Vrabel and the front office were definitely not on the same page whatsoever. So shout out to Mike. Mike, go do your thing where the rest of the guys are on the same page because he's a really, really good coach.
I could see him going to New England.
He's such a solid coach. So from what I saw is that he wanted to make a lot of different draft moves than the front office wanted to make. And there was often a discrepancy there, and it kind of just led to him ending up with some guys that he didn't want to get. And
this was before?
Realistically, that's kind of been the truth for the Titans.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, Ron Rivera's out. He's a legend. Bill Belichick, we don't know. Mike Tomlin, all legendary coaches. They are getting older. And like I said, you saw quarterbacks kind of leave. There's going to be a head coaching kind of turnover, and that's going to hurt the league too.
Speaking of a head coaching turnover, you've got the Raiders, Titans, Commanders, Chargers, Falcons, Panthers, Seahawks, and more probably to come looking for a head coach.
You're telling me we have a chance. I would quit gambling tomorrow to be the head coach of an NFL football team and just know you'd be taking me to win every week.
And you'd be taking me to call plays. And let me tell you something. The more I think about this, Eberflus, he's got to be the happiest guy in the world right now.
Why?
Because he just watched the channel turn from one to another of guys just absolutely getting slapped in the face,
Look
fired.
At me. You know this guy was with ownership. You know when you're like, your boss calls you into the office. Okay. And before I worked for my dad's dealerships, I was he kicked me out and said, you got to go get your own job. Like, you're not going to mooch off me, you little bitch. So he kicked me out, made me go work somewhere else. I remember I thought I was getting fired and this guy got me in trouble. And I was like, do I roll this guy? I didn't end up rolling him. But Matt Eberflus was in the office like this. Hey, listen, I focus on the defense. I'm a head coach. I empower people to do their jobs. These guys didn't do shit. I'll fire him right now. You want me to do it? You want to do it? I mean,
he did.
I want to be here. These guys, I don't think they wanted to be here. And, the McCaskey's like, okay, all right. And they're pretty easy to sell, that 102-year-old sitting there like this. So I'm like this. All I could say is this. That guy, what a sales guy. He went in there, got everyone fired. He walked out like this. Oh, that was close.
I knew this guy was the guy when he got hired and he immediately started slicking his hair back. He came out on the sidelines with a slick back he never had over at Indy. He fit in right away. I don't mind this guy. He calls a good D. I'm interested to see what he can do with some offensive help there, and then we'll see if they get any pickups along the way throughout the offseason.
Another guy that escaped is Robert Saleh in the Jets because Rodgers is calling for a reload and not a rebuild. Mm-hmm. What are your feelings on that?
Saleh is, let me tell you something. A lot of people like Saleh. I don't. He's not my style coach.
This guy must have sex tapes on everybody that want to fire him.
He's not my type of coach. And
has to.
honestly, all he did was lean on the fact that he lost Rodgers this year. That's not something you should be doing as a head coach. You should honestly roll with the punches and not make excuses. But the bottom line is this.
The main guy, though.
He did.
Hey, shout out to
But
Garrett
even
Wilson,
if you
though.
did
Garrett
do
Wilson had a
that,
good
though,
year.
shout out to Garrett Wilson. He's a superstar. When he does have Rodgers throwing the ball, he's deadly. But here's the thing, though.
I agree with that.
You're the head coach, right?
Yep.
Let's say that is the case, because it is. You lost Rodgers, you lost the franchise.
Okay.
Are you gonna let this drama saga go on? Is Wilson getting 5 starts and then benched for a guy that should be in the XFL?
I would have looked at everybody in the media in New York and said, Zach Wilson's the starter. Enough of this nonsense. I'm not going to be flip-flopping. I'm not a flip-flopping floozy. I love that one, by the way. If he would have said that, everybody in the media would have said, he's not a flip-flopper.
Yeah, they would have. They would have said, you know what? We haven't heard that one in quite some time, since the 70s.
But whatever. Screw the Jets until next year. I might enjoy them next year. We'll see. Top 5 NFL defenses. Here we go.
This is the irony of a couple weeks ago. Remember we talked about this?
You name them. Yes.
You remember?
Defense win.
We were thinking about the defense win championships mantra. We were seeing how many good offenses were there and how kind of the flip of the script kind of changed. But it hasn't, cousin, because I'm going to tell you why.
I'm listening.
5th ranked D, Cowboys. 4th ranked D, KC.
Wow.
3rd ranked D, San Fran. 2nd ranked D, the Ravens. And number 1, the Browns. Those are all potential Super Bowl candidate teams, rounding out the top 5D through week 18.
It's interesting.
So the mantra has not changed. I wanted to make that clear. It shows that obviously I think one of these 5 teams, maybe 2 of these 5 teams, will be in the Super Bowl.
I could see that. It's hard to believe that it wouldn't be. Playoff bets worth a while. Buy or sell. We're going to flip through these quick. We're going to knock it out.
These are really fun.
Okay, Ravens. Flowers and Likely combined for 400 receptions, 3 reception touchdowns in the playoffs. That's plus 370. So that's total in the playoffs?
Total in the playoffs, 400 receiving yards and 3+ receiving touchdowns combined between the two.
You're pretty much saying, are they going to win their first game? Because they're not going to do that in the first game.
You got to think about that.
You got to think about that out, right?
It's plus 370. Likely's come on strong this year, big time.
I'm out.
Okay, he's out. Flowers and Likely playing at a good clip.
I like it.
Personally,
I just don't like
don't think it's a horrible bet for plus 370.
No, because they have to be thrown to, and I'm not saying they're not going to get thrown to, but 3 is a lot, and if by chance they don't win the second game,
then they're more.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I like the Ravens. Don't get me wrong, but that's just my feelings. And they have a really good defense they have to go against. Never mind. We'll get there.
Okay.
Okay. Bills, Diggs and Cook combined for 500 yards of scrimmage plus 110. I mean, they should beat the shit out of the Steelers.
I personally think that this bet is very, very dependent on whether they get Diggs the ball, because Diggs has not been getting the ball. Even in the game that they won against Miami, up until the 3rd quarter, he was pretty upset he wasn't getting the ball.
Jesus.
I got news for you. I think the Bills are going to run the shit out of the ball this week against the Steelers and get out of there just scot-free, nobody hurt.
See you later.
See you later.
Mason Rudolph.
Put Mason Rudolph on the couch.
Just talking about the Steelers made me yawn just now. All right. The Browns. Joe Flacco, 5+ touchdowns?
Yeah, 5 passing touchdowns throughout the playoffs. Plus 160.
That's crazy low.
Is he throwing 5?
It makes me like it because of how low it is, even though it's scary. 5's a lot. Especially if you have your running backs run for 3. Jesus.
Yeah.
These are some crazy
But then
ones.
again, one of these QBs could just pop off for 3 in one game.
You're right about that. This next one I think is a no-brainer. Lamb and Pollard combined for 500+ total yards, rush, scrimmage, everything, minus 105.
Yeah.
I like that.
That's a beauty.
I think that's a winner.
That's so beautiful.
I think that's a winner.
I love that bet.
Yeah.
I could not agree more. As soon as I seen this one,
You're probably going to
put
put
one
down,
of my favorites.
You're going to put down at least 200 yards game 1.
Yeah, because we'll get into that.
Minimum.
We'll get into that.
Minimum.
I like that bet.
Lions, St. Brown and Montgomery combined for 500 yards plus 350. Guys, here's what I'm going to say. Then we'll get into this, but all right, well, let's keep it. Let's save it for the games.
Let's save it. Just save it.
I don't know if I like that.
Packers, you ready?
Yes.
Any Packers player to have 250 yards from scrimmage, plus 1,300. Guys, be very alarmed. That's going to show you that the Packers don't look to be playing too long.
That means that they're going to get knocked out game one because
250 yards for plus 1,300.
That's pretty crazy. Next one, Texans. Nico Collins, Devin Singletary, 2+ playoff touchdowns, plus 140. That could happen game one.
That could happen game one. But keep in mind, they're going to be playing against the Browns, a team that ranks number 1 against the pass. So Nico Collins, if you're out there, pal, you better bring your heat because the Browns are not playing on D.
I think people like the Texans.
They love the Texans.
Yeah.
People are talking Texans.
Texans are hot.
People are talking Texans. People are just spanking it to Stroud. They're ready to go.
God, my allergies are killing me today. All right, Kansas City. Kelsey Pacheco, 500 yards of scrimmage, plus 260. Jesus.
You like that or no?
You know what's crazy is they're setting this up for, you have to think, are they going to win game one?
Exactly.
That's how they're doing
That's
it.
why I wanted to just make sure that we covered this today because you got to go longevity with the team when you're taking these player props.
Holy fuck, this is crazier.
Let's talk about it.
I skipped one here, so we'll do this one. Any Rams player to have 250 yards.
Plus 250.
All I'm going to say is this. If they win game one, it's because they pass the ball a lot. And that means they're going to go to game 2, and you're probably going to go over that amount. That's all I'm going to say.
Yep. That's where my head's at. Puka Nacua, he's like 87 yards or something on the prop, so
Miami.
He could be that guy.
Here's the Miami one. Hill, Waddle combined for 400 reception yards and 3 reception touchdowns, plus 475.
They're playing in the Ice Bowl in their first game.
These poor guys are going from 80 and sunny. You guys should have won that Buffalo game. You could have stayed at home. Instead, now you're flying to Kansas City. Miserable place, by the way.
They're in such a bad spot.
Listen, if you support me from Kansas City, I love you. But if you live in Kansas City, I'm sorry. Because that place is miserable.
I don't know what you guys did to this guy, but man, when he hears the word Kansas City, he ducks for cover.
Hey! You know why? I only go for football, and it's freezing, and it's miserable, and there's just hillbillies chanting for the Chiefs, and I'm like, get me out of here.
You go to say Kansas City after Kansas, you see him, he's underneath the table.
Because I went to
Can't even get to City.
I went to a playoff game where the Jags, I think it was the Jags, played the Chiefs years ago. And my hands, I flew in. So what happens is my staff had a great year. I chartered a private jet. I flew us to Kansas City. And we went to a game, and my hands were like this the whole time. I couldn't freaking move. My feet, by the time I got back on the plane, I was defrosting as we landed back in Chicago. So that's the only reason why I say that. Eagles, Brown or Swift to score 2+ touchdowns. Oh, wow.
I was waiting to absolutely explode his head off his shoulders.
That's crazy.
With that plus 230.
That's crazy.
Yep.
Because if they win game one, they definitely are.
Well, don't look too far.
But, Swift might get actually a carry because I think that Hurts is going to want to hand it off. All right, Steelers. Any Pitt player to have 250 yards.
Plus 850. Say goodbye, my friends, to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Plus 850.
They're pretty much saying they're not going to beat the Bills.
Correct.
The line's 10. I mean, I get it.
Yeah.
Ayuk, Samuel combined for 400 reception yards and 3+ reception touchdowns, plus 145. Good Lord. That's all they're paying? That's all they're paying.
You like that, don't you?
That's crazy.
I like it.
But they don't even play week one.
No, I know. I like it.
Wow, you want to make love to it?
I like it.
Wow.
Because you know why?
Why?
It's the combined receiving yards and receiving touchdowns. And basically, I just know that one of those two guys is going to go off in the playoffs. They have to.
I got one for you.
They have to.
I got one for you. Evans or White to score 2+ touchdowns in the playoffs, plus 100.
How does that plus 100 for that make you feel?
I'm an Eagles fan. That sounds pretty low. That's all I'm going to say.
That's why I wanted to talk to you about it. Because if you're an Eagles fan, that's a problem.
All right,
game time.
It's time to talk games. We're going to start from the bottom, and we're going to go up.
We're starting from the bottom?
We're starting from the bottom.
We're starting from the bottom.
All right. First game is the narrative play of narrative plays. It's the type of play where you look at it and you say, Wow, it's the Rams at the Lions. Well, if you've watched football at any point in your life prior to this year, maybe a couple of years ago, you know that Matt Stafford is going home. And I will tell you, he doesn't call it home, but it is home.
Does he call it?
This guy spends so much time in Detroit. He might go to the wrong locker room. He gets to go back home and face the team that kind of just said goodbye.
I'm so happy.
The line's 3. It started at 3.5, so it's down to 3. Lions are -3. If you're putting a gun to my head, I'm taking the over.
That's it?
I'm taking the over.
All right, listen, I have zero
Gun
choice.
to my head, I'm taking the over.
Zero choice because I opened my mouth last week and I said something and I said, listen, I'm going to say it right now.
I'm listening.
If the Rams are matched up with the Lions,
Yes.
There's not even a line out for this game. There's nothing out.
Yes.
I'm taking the Rams.
Really?
100,000%. No matter how this week 18 pans out, if the Rams end up at the Lions,
Yeah.
I'm taking the Rams.
Wow.
So that is my absolute play. I'm taking the Rams plus 3.5 on the original. I'm sprinkling the ML. I'm looking for Matty Stafford to show up back on his home turf. I'm looking for Goff to get exposed by his previous coaching staff. And I'm looking for Stafford to dominate in this game against the 27th ranked passing defense, Swiss cheese of the Detroit Lions. God. And let me tell you right now, I'm also taking Matthew Stafford over 272 passing yards in that game. It's home show. It's Sunday night football. It's Matty Stafford on the main stage. That's what it is.
This makes me want to fly to Detroit.
I want to be at this game so bad. And I'm going to tell you guys why.
I have a Rams jersey.
Matthew Stafford, he's one of my favorite players of all time. He's one of my childhood favorite players of all time.
He is, huh?
Yeah.
Well, here's what I'll tell you.
To watch him play quarterback has been an absolute pleasure and a thing of beauty.
I can't pick a side in this game, even though I would lean Rams, but I can't pick a side. It's hard for me to not want to take that over. So I would probably wait and live wager this over, maybe hope for a punt to start the game, and it'll go down to 50.5. But I like the over. I don't know if I'm going to take a pregame, but that's where I'm at.
The over does look juicy.
The next game, I'm going to let you kick this off. Go ahead.
We're talking Eagles at Tampa. Tampa plus 3 at home.
Yeah.
How do you feel, baby?
Listen. Philly. It's time! I'm taking you this week. If you bums don't figure out how to win this week with a -3 against the Buccaneers, who are, guys, I get it. They had an okay year. They're not that good. Now, they are going to pass the ball effectively on you. But if you can't score more than 24, just know the hatred runs deep. It'll run a hell of a lot deeper. I'm on the Eagles this week, money line and -3. I'm sorry. I know you guys have looked absolutely ass. I can't see you guys losing. So, Philly, I'm on the Eagles this week. If you blow it, we're done. We're done, Zini. That's it. Period. Done.
Eagles, don't blow it. You'll be done, Zine. Eagles come into this game 31 against the pass. Baker's definitely looking to get hot at home. And I just want to let you guys know, the Bucs, when it comes to the run, they are 5th against the run on D. They are going to be doing everything in
As
their
a
power.
matchup, this does not match up well for the
It's
Eagles.
not a good matchup. Not a good first-round matchup for the Eagles.
And it was a close game when they played last time.
Yeah, that was like 2 years ago, probably.
No, they played this year. The Bucs played the
I was talking about I think they had a first-round playoff game about 2 years ago. There was about a 10.5-point spread on that game, if I remember correctly. And honestly, the Bucs they came to play.
Yeah.
It was
so
a great
that's
game.
where I'm at. Here's the next one. Next game is Green Bay at Dallas. Green Bay is getting 7.5 points in a playoff game. That's crazy.
Yeah. Very, very simple here. The Cowboys did what they had to do. They squeaked the East out, which gave them home field, and home field looks so beautiful for a team like this.
I can't touch this game.
Green Bay comes into this game 28th against the run. I look for McCarthy to dial up a lot of running plays. It wouldn't surprise me, as I told you
All
before.
right, you know what? I like that. Now that you said that, because I was already leaning this. So as
they're running that bitch.
I'm going to take Pollard to score a touchdown.
Boom! I like that.
Pollard TD score, I'm taking that.
That sounds good. And you know what? You know what I'm going to do, Cuzzy?
What?
Guess what I'm going to do?
What are you doing?
I'm going to throw a bet in there for the people, too.
Let me hear
Another
it.
touchdown scorer in that game.
Who?
I'm going to take C.D. Lamb to score a touchdown in that game.
CD, okay.
Packers, they're okay, mediocre in the secondary. I'll take the cousin to score.
All
CD.
right, so we gave you 2 picks there.
2 picks.
Pollard and CD to score. Interesting. I'm not mad. Okay. Next game. Buffalo Bills are -10 against the Steelers. I'm kind of thrown off. Not sure how to feel about this. I do want to lean on the +10 for the Steelers. I think 10's a lot. I do think Buffalo gets it done. But Mike Tomlin is not he's not a slouch.
No.
But by any means.
No.
Sorry.
Tomlin's going to have his team prepared as he always usually does, and if I'm getting the best read on this game, I'm thinking that the Steelers should attempt to run the ball 30 times.
Minimum.
Yeah.
They need to run the ball nonstop.
I think that both of these backs need to touch the ball 15 times.
The over-under is 36.
The Bills come 7th against the pass in this game at home. Not a good sign for Rudolph. Turn around, hand the ball off, play D, try and keep the ball in your possession, milk the clock. Keep it out of Allen's hands. The reason I think they may do that, very low passing yard prop.
So right now you have my picks currently are Eagles money line, Pollard touchdown scorer, and Pittsburgh +10. I'm not touching their money line. It's +400 if you want to get crazy. I think that Pittsburgh is in the game. I just do.
Yeah, I think they're going to play their absolute best. You know, a Mike Tomlin team, his possible last game as a Steelers head coach, they're going to bring it.
Wow, that's crazy.
Isn't that crazy?
That's crazy.
A great coach.
He gets his,
possibly gone.
Yeah, I guess.
The NFL is going to look so weird next year if Belichick's, coaching the Chargers and Tomlin's coaching wherever, and all these guys are going to be, same faces, different places. It's going to be
crazy.
Messed up.
Okay, next game is one that is all you, buddy. The Dolphins are flying to 0-degree weather to face the Kansas City Chiefs. The line's 4.5. This is me when I see this game. I'm going to live wager. I'm going to watch the game. I'm going to figure out who I like more at that time, and I'm going to take whoever I like. I'll post it on my story. I'm going to be very active on my stories this week for football, so stay tuned. If I take a live bet, I'm going to post it immediately, so turn your notifications on for my posts. That's where I'm at. So where are you at in this game?
I'm very torn on this game. I know that Miami travels, like you said, to between 0 and 10-degree weather. Miami is very good against the run, so they're going to put the game in Mahomes' hands, while the Chiefs come in 4th against the pass.
I'll tell you
one
this,
of my
the
biggest.
The Chiefs players, they better be practicing. They better be. You know those kids at school used to hold the ball if they sucked that week before? All the receivers should be carrying a football around their house right now, and their wives and kids should just be punching at it. Just saying. Just saying. Just a little advice.
The Chiefs, they come into this game 4th against the pass. In a snowy game, I think cold game like this, I think you're going to need to be stout against the run. However, Miami's going to put the ball in Mahomes' hands. I can't say I have a solidified go-to on this game because with the weather narrative, people are going to be all over the Chiefs, and it scares me a little bit.
I don't know. I can't pick a winner here. I just can't. I kind of want to lean Dolphins +4.5.
I'll tell you right now, I think the Chiefs win this game.
Do you know what my fear is? Does the NFL want Taylor Swift at the Super Bowl?
Oh, do they ever?
Yeah.
Listen, I'm telling you right now, the Chiefs, I think they win this game. I think they win the game. I don't know if they cover 4.5.
That's what I hate to say it. Selfishly, I hope Chiefs go up by like 7 to 10, and I can catch the Dolphins plus like 9.5.
And then I like that.
I'm going to take them plus 9.5, no doubt.
That's beautiful. Do that, ladies and gentlemen. That's the move.
That's what I hope. The next game is very interesting, and I'm going to tell you why. I feel as that people are hot on the Texans, even though there's places like there's different apps telling me that the Cleveland Browns are the ones getting bet. I don't believe it. The public, I think, is hot on the Texans plus 2.5. I think they're going to buy it to 3, and I think that's what they're going to take. I personally, I'm on the Browns. I'm on the Browns to win the Super Bowl. I'm on the Browns train. I think right now, if the Ravens face the Browns, I think they're like this. You're going to tell me we got the 1 seed to face a divisional rival that has the best run stopping and good. I mean, it's going to be terrible.
The best of everything defensively. They're coming hot.
I would not want to face the Browns if I'm any team. And I'll tell you who else doesn't want to face the Browns. I'll tell you this right now. Kansas City would get wrecked by the Browns right now.
Kansas City would be in trouble against the Browns. The receiving core
they
would get
heat
locked
up Mahomes. The receivers would be locked up. Kelsey would be in a rubber band, just broken, and it would just be ugly.
Yeah.
So
I got to tell you guys,
what do you
I'm
got
on
in
the
this
Browns money line -140. I like the Browns money line -140.
Yeah.
And I got to tell you guys, don't even bother messaging me if the Texans win, because I'm an Ohio State guy and I would love to see CJ Stroud continue to make this dominant playoff run. But I think that comes to an end.
You can message me. I won't read it for about 3 days, because usually after a loss, I don't go to my messages for 3 days. But I did have a very good interaction. There was this guy. He was sending me negative stuff.
Yeah. He was coming, was he coming in hot, or was he just kind of
he was coming in
teetering
hot.
a little?
He was coming in hot.
Yeah, hot.
So I sent him back a hot message.
Oh, you did?
I came back with the heat.
Like how heavy?
Inappropriate. Bad. Like
okay.
In his grill.
Okay.
Yeah, like
right up front.
Right up front, like boom.
Check yourself at the door.
Like I got mean, like a side that people don't see. But him and I actually got talking finally. I apologized. He apologized. We had a great conversation. We bonded over the Michigan beating, because him and I both felt Michigan were going to win.
Isn't it funny how that works? Sometimes you just got to, like, a little beef starts up a nice
relationship. That's why men are cooler than women, because women, they'll fight. They won't be friends for 30 years.
They'll hold that shit, too.
Men, they'll fight. Fuck you. No, fuck you.
You remember what you said? You said this.
And then this is what happens. Wait, you play Call of Duty? Or, oh, wait, bro, I didn't mean to hurt your feelings. I don't want you to be upset.
Oh, wait, you think the Browns can make it to the Super Bowl too?
Oh, we're friends
now. My God.
Yeah, I know. So that's why I love when you actually have interactions with people that start negative and turn positive. I wish it started positive all the time, because I like positive. I'm a positive guy. But when it did start negative and went positive, I was very happy. It put me in a good
nice.
mood.
It does put you in a nice spot.
And you know what? That guy's in my primary folder now.
Yeah,
so,
you're like, you know what? We didn't get along, but now we get along, which actually makes it a little bit more meaningful.
I like it.
I know exactly
where
who
we
you are.
started to where we're at. It's like a relationship. It grew. Guys, my picks are simple this week. You already heard them loud and clear. Browns -140. Tony Pollard to be a touchdown scorer. Philadelphia money line. So that was -140, I think, too. Or no, -155. And then we have the Rams. I'm leaning on that over. I don't know if I want to take it. Fuck me in the bootay. I'm going to live bet. There's 2 games I'm going to live bet. So I'm going to go like this. 3 pregame picks, 2 postgame live bets. I want to try and live the over when it drops into the 40s for the Rams. And I want to try and live bet the over when it gets over 8 for the Dolphins. That's where I'm at, guys. So do you have picks? Do you have any slice thin? Nothing?
Cousin, I'm not slicing it thin this week. I've give simple picks. Browns on the ML -140. CD to score a touchdown. I also like the Rams +3.5. It's the Matt Stafford show on Sunday night.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's playoff time. And with that being said, if the Browns do win the Super Bowl, just know there's going to be a hell of a giveaway. Have a great night. Kiss your children.